Well, greetings and welcome to another episode of Lightbulb Moments. This is episode number 180 something. If JP from our team could put in the chat what actual episode this is, that would be great. I can't keep track. Thanks for joining us today, and thanks for spending your precious ATM with us, the three currencies we have in life: attention, time, and money. Whether you are watching live or listening to the podcast or joining us on a YouTube, we're glad you're with us. I want to give a shout out to sponsors. Cunity is the main producer of Lightbulb Moments, but we do welcome Zenoti and Lightheart Sanders as two sponsors to this forum. Thanks to them for making this platform happen. The light bulb moment. So what is a light bulb moment? Well, it's a moment of realization, enlightenment, or inspiration. And we all need a light bulb moment now and then to create a spark. Because remember, you can't start a fire without a spark. Couple things before we jump into this episode. I'm super excited with our guest today, which we'll get to in a moment here. But two things. We are on the eve of the Phil, our fourth annual Phil, which also includes a celebration of Lightbulb Moments, which actually happens a week from Sunday. So if I'm dating myself, this episode is actually, what is the date of the episode? May 7th. And a celebration of Lightbulb Moments will happen on May 18th in Austin, Texas, in affiliation with the University of Texas. And that evening, I celebrate all of my amazing guests over the last 5 years, actually. Actually, we are soon going to be on our 5-year anniversary of Lightbulb Moments. So super excited about a celebration of Lightbulb Moments at the Phil. And the Phil is our upcoming conference. It's our signature conference. Again, it's an affiliation with the University of Texas, Austin, McCombs School of Business. And it is full of all sorts of different things. It's a place, it's a time to fill your bucket and also to fill the gaps in your business. So super excited about that. We still have the opportunity for you to join us at the Phil. We will be having some special segments, including on Tuesday morning at the Phil. We have something called a multi-meetup, which is for multi-location salons and spas only. And during that segment, what we're going to do is we're going to celebrate the unsung heroes in multi-location, and that is what we'll call the number twos, the general managers, the ones that wear about a dozen different hats. And we know that in the multi-location model, those GMs, those director of operations are essential, and that will happen as a special breakfast. If you're attending the Phil and your multi-location, reach out. You do have to qualify by multi-location to be part of that. So super excited about that. Last session, I took a moment to share the genesis of Cunity and the name Cunity and the pencil and the lens, if you will, and the whole idea behind Cunity. And that was really about the pairing of creativity and business, the left brain, the right brain. It also has a little bit to do with my background. I was an accountant, but I also do have a right brain that has a pulse. I was a photographer, etc. So anyway, I'm led to share another light bulb moment I've had in a few over the most recent days here that's sort of in that same vein, and something that I've been sort of struggling with here. And it really goes to this whole idea of unity and the ability to be able to do a few different things, the ability to zoom in, to be able to dive deep into something, be super rigorous, but then the opportunity to zoom out, zoom in, zoom out. I mean, it's a mental skill. It can be taxing, and it's a skill that takes time to develop. Where I'm leading with this is I have spent about the last year, actually it goes back to the fall of 2023, on a very important data project, which is I'll call it unprecedented profitability study. Through the actual collection of profit and loss statements. It's something that Cunity has done in the past. At the very beginning, we actually collected profit and loss statements primarily from multi-location salons, but we knew we needed to open that up. And we also knew that benchmarks in the industry are dated, they're pre-pandemic, or they're not actually data driven. They're not based upon the collection of profit and loss statements. So anyway, without getting into a deep dive on the P&L study, and which is a study of profitability benchmarks and industry trends, I've lived in this world of being an analyst, a data person. And I've taken very seriously when we have when we're collecting people's arguably some of their most sensitive information in their company that they share to us because they trust us. So I feel a privilege and grateful to be able to have people entrust them with their P&L so that we can come back and do something that's beneficial for the industry. And I've been struggling lately because I've been in such this zoom in mode where it's all about the data and the integrity of the data, the methodology. And to be honest, I've been boring people silly. And some people are really interested in a lot of that. So what I'm doing is I'm doing this mental pivot into, okay, well, this is the data. The findings are amazing. They're rich. There's some big surprises. So I'm finding myself coming into the other side of my brain, the side of my brain that says, let's zoom out a little bit and let's make this relevant. And let's make this more digestible to people. So anyway, I think it's really this whole idea of unity and the ability to use both sides of your brain, and how I'm personally living in that right now. So I don't know if anybody has any comments on that. I thought I'd share that little personal light bulb moment with you. And with that, what we're going to do is we are going to get to our guests, who are Samantha and Philip Gould of Goulds from the great state of Tennessee. I don't know if any of you recall that song, Tennessee Jed. Let me see how it goes. Isn't along the line of Tennessee is there's no place I'd rather be. Is that right, Goulds?
I think you got it.
That sounds
good. Close.
Well, good morning to both of you. How are you?
Fine,
Good
Tom.
morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Got you side by side, which is great. So we have a father-daughter in front of us here. And it's good to see both of you this morning. I hope I find you well. Thanks for joining me as our guest.
Thank you for having us.
So what I want to do today is I want to approach a theme, sort of a sub-theme to Lightbulb Moments, relates with succession planning, and as well as multi-generation family businesses. And here we have a perfect example, a perfect case study of a multi-generational family business that we're going to celebrate today and dig deep in. But then you throw out a topic during our prep call that is something that I want to explore as more of a part two. And so anyway, we might actually issue this particular recording in two segments because they're two very digestible topics. And it has to do with living in the world as a salon owner, an employee-based salon owner, but then broaching into the world of suites. So we'll save that for the second part of the conversation, okay?
Sounds good.
That's fine.
So Philip, you've only been doing this 50 years. Congratulations. It sounds to me like they did a little celebration within your company about your 50th anniversary. You're a young looking man for 50 years. Well, congratulations.
I'm actually very old. That's one advantage of guest being in this industry. But yeah, I started with my dad in 1975. In April was my 50th year in the salon industry. Obviously, I was raised in it. My dad started the business. He was a stylist and was married to a hairstylist, and they started in 1932 here in Memphis. And I joined him again in 75. He's been deceased over 30 years now. And so it's myself and my brother David, our partners in the business. And we were blessed and joined by my daughter Samantha and my son Paul, who runs our school division, which we've had that up and running about 12 years now, our Goulds Academy. And Samantha is on the salon spa side of the business. So yeah, it's been 50 years of incredible change that we've seen over the years in this industry, and how we do our best to try to stay relevant and change with the times, which is obviously very important.
So you have 8 Gould salon spa locations, correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Varying between what, 3,500 and 7,500 square feet ballpark, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah.
You have 2 schools,
Correct.
and then you have 4. Describe what your other 4 locations. I mean, call it a hybrid, or you call them
Well,
suites?
we have suites. We opened a hybrid version of suites about 11 years ago in one of our full service salons. We wanted to test the water to see if we liked it. So we had the ability to get a space adjacent to our salon, another 2,500 feet, and we built 10 suites. So it gave us a little bit of a taste of what the suite business was like. And so that's a hybrid version. Now, fast forward to 4 years ago, we opened suites under the brand Lux Salon Suites. We put in 28 to 30 suites, and we currently have 3 of the Lux Salon Suites location, which are exclusively salon suites. And that's obviously our our newest venture, and that's something that we're in Tennessee and Mississippi with those operations.
All right, we're going to dig deep into that in part 2. Okay.
Sure.
I want to dive deeper into that one, but Samantha, let's go over to you for a moment. Okay.
Sure.
So you came from the world of finance.
I did. Yes.
Working in New York City. Tell us a little bit about your background.
I did. So again, like my dad grew up in the business, just at the family dinner table. But after college, so my dad taught me the skills and values, but he did let me take my own path to get where I am today. So I did move to New York for a while, worked in finance, which I think was a wonderful experience. It helped me grow and develop as a person and in business. And I actually worked for a family owned asset management firm. So I have a unique perspective on how I've actually worked for 2 family owned asset management firms. So unique perspective on how other family owned businesses operate. But I went to New York, eventually moved back to Memphis, eventually joined the family business, and really feel like that experience helped me grow to where I am today.
So it's not a secret that you and Paul are the successors, and there's some type of succession plan in place. And so you are the 3rd generation and will be the 3rd generation owners. Is that right?
That is correct. Yes, that is correct. And my goal is, so my grandfather started the salons, my dad and uncle grew the salons, started the spas, the schools, the suites, and have grown them into the successful businesses they are today. And my goal is that when they pass the torch on to us, that they are confident that their legacy is in good hands with the next generation.
Philip, you must feel very confident, right?
Oh, absolutely. I'm very comfortable and confident in Samantha.
He's taught me well.
Continuing on another 93 years.
Yes. Yes.
We're
approaching 100 years. That's I don't think there's a lot of family businesses in the country that can say that.
No, and I think that's why that's part of the reason for this forum, is because we want to celebrate that and want to acknowledge. And, we've done some studies in the past for multi-location businesses, and it's incredible. The percentage of them, they're actually family businesses, were like 92%, certainly in that category of between 2 and 10 and 2 and 20 locations,
Mm-hmm.
So what is part of the format, of which you don't even think it is a format, it's just your DNA, that makes this work? For example, the 2 of you working together.
Wow, that's a tough question. Everyone has their areas of expertise. Samantha's area of expertise is her people skills, and that's obviously very important in this industry. I'll never forget when I was up visiting her in this company in New York, and her boss in Barron Capital. And, it's New York is kind of an aggressive market business world. And her boss called me aside and said, I don't know who taught her people skills, but she's excellent with her people skills. And I said, well, I don't know if that was me, but that's so
Yes.
critically important. So her specialty is dealing with HR, dealing with our management team, and obviously all of our service providers, which is so important. We take a great deal of pride in the fact that we don't have a lot of turnover in our salons and spas. We love to brag and boast about the number of stylists and nail techs and massage therapists and estheticians that have been with us over 20 and 25 years. And our famous hairstylist, Eunice Bodie, who actually I made a little presentation about Uni at ISBN conference last year. She has worked for us for 70 years as a stylist and still work consecutive years, 70. I celebrated with some photos and at ISBN when we celebrated her 90th birthday in the salon here last year. So I think one of the important ingredients to our longevity is tenure and low turnover of our stylists, which in our industry we are, quite frankly, plagued with quite a lot of turnover in the salon environment.
Yeah, we did a study, you're part of ISBN, a great organization, and we actually, the CUNY Institute was engaged, as you well know, to do a study on that. And yes, certainly tenure is an issue. It's a big issue. So I'm wondering how we get Uni on Lightbulb Moments. I've never had a.
I thought about that actually. I was going to suggest that.
I thought you might bring that up.
Well,
when I mentioned that. So yeah.
I made a note on that.
Follow up.
That would be a special episode. That's a high compliment of your daughter, and because someone that works in finance and has that type of background. Not to say, I don't want to say like it's completely rare, but it's a special combination, Samantha. So that's a big shout out to your dad. Now, what about your dad? I mean, what lane does he belong in? And where's his genius?
I'm on the road, in the ditch. I'm all over the place.
No, he.
Samantha, you see him get a little bit uncomfortable there. It's about him now, he got a little EBGB.
It's like, which direction? He is right, though. He is in every lane because he does wear all the hats. He is great with people. He's great with our clients and our customers. He is so business savvy. He has stayed. One of the big things we pride ourselves on is staying at the forefront of technology. So we're always one of the beginners of whether it's doing online booking. He tells me stories about how we used to have these, the big paper appointment books, and we were one of the first people to bring that digital. And Clicks is something we're bringing into our salons now. So just always at the forefront of technology, and he's the leader in that, bringing that to the business.
Yeah, I mean, we can tell stories about over the years, Tom, technology and how we were the first to bring permanent waves into Memphis, and go back to first to bring retail into Memphis with Redken, and technology is very, very important. We have. We're one of the first to utilize AI technology. If you go to our website or our app, we have a very robust app. You can talk to our AI, our app, and answer any questions, whether it be you just damaged your hair at home with color, or you want to bring your mom in for a Mother's Day spa package, and what package might you recommend? And AI will tell you options and how old is your mom. So an 80-year-old mom, we may want to do a spa manicure pedicure for her. So the AI technology is something we've been working on all of last year, and it has been really incredibly beneficial and helpful.
So he's taught me lots of skills and values, and just has brought I've learned everything from him, and I'm very proud of that, and proud to be a part of the family business. We're one of the larger employers in the city of Memphis, and so very big with the community as well. And everybody, everybody in the community knows my dad, and that's something to be proud of.
Well, your dad's a gentleman as well as David. I've enjoyed
Yes.
our interactions throughout the years. So let me ask you this. So as you both know, and our listeners know, that my daughter's in our business, Erin. Yeah.
Yes.
And which is great. And she brings a very unique skill, and it happened very accidentally and whatever, but it was meant to be. I get feedback from her now and then. Yeah. Sam, do you get any feedback? And when I say feedback, sometimes that feedback can be a little direct. Did you get any feedback from Sam?
Do I get any feedback? Absolutely.
I got to keep them on their toes.
No question about it. I definitely get feedback, and it is welcome always. We are very open-minded around here, and we have an incredibly open door policy for our staff. We will talk to any of them at any time. They know they can come over here, or we're as close as a phone call. Many of them have our cell numbers. So we are very, one challenge over the years, Tom, is we don't want to be known as a big chain organization. We are a multi-unit, but we still want to be able to try to provide that environment of a small business where I used to know every employee's name. It's gotten a little more difficult now, but Samantha does.
Yes, and we have a lot of employees.
She's pretty good at that.
We have a wonderful staff.
We really want to try to maintain that family environment and that culture that's so important to us. And as we have grown over the years, that has been a bit of a challenge. There's no question about it. You get more corporate, and we try to stay away from that if possible, and maintain that balance if we can. It's important to us.
So regarding family business for a moment here, what type of boundaries do you establish, for example, at dinner hour and fun, because you got spouses, you got family, and do you have, like Erin and I, for example, have some boundaries? We sort of have a no work zone, and if we need to talk about something work related and we're with a group, we'll go out to another room, which has been a very winning thing for everybody. How do you set boundaries, or is it just open? You talk about work all the time with spouses and kids and all that.
I wouldn't necessarily say we have boundaries, but my brother's involved in the business, so we do talk about it openly. If we're at family dinner, and something pops in our head, we'll talk about it. My spouse is very used to hearing us talk about it. He enjoys it. He knows that's the family business and that comes with the territory, but it's special.
Yeah, I mean, I can say there probably really are no boundaries. It's discussed.
Okay, well, there you go.
I'll be honest. So, I mean, we can make it real quickly.
Yeah.
We'll pick this up later.
Yeah.
So Sam, I want to, for both of you, I want to celebrate Emmy, who is now 4 months old. This is your precious child, Samantha. So
sweet little nugget.
I can see both of you gushing on that right now, as you should. So proud.
This is Pops. Yep.
That's right. It's an exciting time. Really
so for those out there that are a family business, or if they're not a family business, well, let's stay with family business for a moment. Do you have certain things that you might, let's say you were invited to be part of a university family business center and you were guests. If you had like one or two nuggets, none of this is rehearsed, by the way, listeners.
No, it's not
rehearsed. So I'm not throwing them any curveballs, but if you were to say one or two little nuggets as it relates to keys to success for business to jump from, all the way to 3 generations, what might they be? I'm going to start with you, Sam.
Thanks.
Yeah, give them a second to think. Keys to success. Well, for me personally, and this is not, not everybody takes this route. It's something I did differently, but I think moving away, getting experience outside of the family business was very valuable for me and just did wonders for bringing that experience back to the family business and allowing me a different perspective on how things run. And yeah, that's one of the biggest things I would say, that I would if I was mentoring somebody, I would recommend getting that experience outside of the family business so you bring more back to it.
I want to highlight the wisdom of what you said, and I'll validate that. And I'm going to tie back to another episode, because on this theme, I've interviewed other multi-generational family businesses, including the Neal family. And I was on with Garrison Neal and Deborah Neal, and Garrison went to that very same point. And I do think it was a winning formula. Same with Aaron. I mean, Aaron went out and worked and really, developed her own confidence outside the business. And
it really does help you develop confidence. Yeah.
Okay. So that's a pretty good one, Sam.
Thanks.
Philip, do you have one?
Well, I mean, obviously, love and respect everyone, family relationships can be challenging sometimes. There's no question about it, especially under the stress and pressures of day-to-day business. So that's why you see so few third-generation businesses succeed, quite frankly. So we are very blessed and fortunate that we all get along, have love, respect for one another. And that's from David to Paul, who runs our schools, to Sam. I mean, we're just very fortunate just in that regard. And I think that's just obviously so important. And I think that's the key element, really.
Being together, working together, and seeing each other all day, every day. You think we wouldn't do things after work, but we go to the Memphis Grizzlies basketball games together. We go to dinner, we go to Ole Miss football games. So it's just, we're very close as a family. All
right. I've got one other area I want to explore, and then I want to move on to part 2 of this conversation. So Sam, in my intro to this session, I talked about a role within multi-location business, which is this GM, this multi-hat, non-owner, non-CEO. I mean, your operations, marketing, business development, inventory controls, systems. Is it fair to say that you're wearing just a couple different hats?
Just one or two. Yes.
So we already planted a seed for uni. I'm going to plant a seed I really am super curious to profile people in your role, because it's such an important role and no one's really done that before. What does it feel like to be wearing all those hats? And I don't know if we cut what's your title, by the way? Not that totally matters, but
director. Yeah. And so I love it. I love being in charge and being responsible for all these different parts of the business. It's exciting, and no day is the same, obviously. But I like that responsibility to grow our business in these different areas, help with do the marketing, with making sure we've got inventory under control and looking for the new products to bring in, that there's something new to the industry, our operations, making sure we have the best systems in place and we're streamlining everything and having the processes as efficient as possible. So it's can be a challenge, but it's a challenge I welcome.
Let's everybody give Sam and Philip a virtual round of applause. Give them a little shout out there. And what's going to happen is you're going to become an official member of the Brain Trust, which means you'll get the $1 million light bulb. So each of you should be getting one of those.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. So thanks for being my guest on the part of this episode that related with multi-generational family business. And for those of you that are only watching this part, we hope to see you in another episode.